Hey there, I'm your host and channeler and medium, bringing you over 30 years of experience to Portal Místico podcast. I've dedicated my life to uncovering a treasure trove of tools and techniques, and I can't wait to share them with you. Join me on this incredible journey where we'll dive deep into spirituality, astrology, channeling, fitness, the divine feminine, numerology, and various spiritual modalities. And each week you'll receive invaluable insights and interviews that are going to bring you closer to that version of yourself that you want to achieve. Expect captivating interviews with experts, deep dives into metaphysical concepts, and practical advice to ignite your creativity and boost your personal growth. I'm your host, Elena Maggio, on Portal Místico podcast. Listen to Portal Místico on Pandora app, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite platform. In Lakeisha, I wanted to give everybody a warm welcome. Thank you so much for everybody that has been listening to Portal Místico in Spanish and English. I know sometimes it's hard to keep up because I'm doing it in both languages, but please bear with me. I'm trying to share the message and share tools and techniques with both audiences. And I'm happy to announce that Akashic Insight YouTube channel 369 is up and going. We have some great content, all the interviews that I've done for Portal Místico. And I also have my meditations and my sacred codes. So you're into kind of creating and manifesting, and you're into co-creating. I have these codes that I think that you will find super helpful. And I've done plenty of episodes for the sacred codes in Spanish and English. So if you're not really sure what it is and you'd like to know more, I'm going to put the link down below. And today I have an amazing guest. She's been a repeat guest on Portal Místico. Her name is Krisztina Simon. She's an astrologer. She also does palmistry. She does herbal astrology. She does medical astrology. She does feng shui. And we have touched on these topics. And I think it is so wonderful that she has so much knowledge. And I always look forward to having her come on Portal Místico and share all her knowledge. Today's episode is going to be about what is your mission in life and how can you better harness that mission, and especially if you're like me, where you were transitioning in your 40s or 50s from maybe the corporate world, and then after the pandemic came, and then you started realizing like, hey, you know what, I think I'm meant for something a lot bigger and better and brighter, and you want to get yourself out there. But what does that mission look like for you? And I've talked a lot about tools that will help you find that. But today in specific, we're going to discuss astrology and how through astrology, you can find that authenticity. I'm excited because we're going to dive deep into the role of your birth chart, understanding your mission, planetary insights that clarify your life's direction, and how astrology can affirm your intuitive knowing. So if you're like me, that you've been reinventing yourself and trying to figure out what's your life purpose, for me, it's been invaluable because through astrology, I have been able to really identify which are those gifts and how I can better harness them. And then once you understand what those gifts are, then you can kind of, sit with it, journal with it, and figure out if that resonates. But once you have a guide, it just makes it so much easier. And then you can start identifying like, hey, I'm really passionate about empowering other women or men to find their mission, or to find tools and techniques that help you on whatever journey that is. That's really the number one focus of Portal Místico and the things that I do. And it's like clairvoyant, medium, and psychic. I also get messages from the divine, from the creator, from all that is. That has helped me understand through my chart. I was able to understand how empathic I am. And I also learned that through the human design, the destiny cards, astrology is another tool. Whatever it takes for you to find those answers, that is really what it's all about. But I'm going to welcome. All right. Well, here she is with us, Krisztina Simon. Once again, she is like our favorite guest to be on Portal Místico. How are you, my friend?
Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for having me again. I'm doing excellent. A little bit tired, but that's all right.
It's all this energy that we're feeling, all these planets, and we just had that full moon in Scorpio, that was definitely a doozer.
Yeah, it was actually, but because of we have a lot of planetary movement this year, and like Uranus going to Gemini, Jupiter going to change sign to going by sign, tropical astrology, it's gonna go to Cancer in its exaltation, and we have Saturn, Neptune went Aries right now recently, and they are conjuncting, and Pluto in Aquarius, the nodes change signs, so this is like, plus we had Venus retrograde and Mars retrograde, so this year is very, very significant for the collective. It's huge. It's like a major shift in the collective, the way we're going to think and behave. And yes, so we will see.
I know that I've been feeling it, and I know we've talked about in several episodes in the past about how intense 2025, in a positive way, it's like a rebirth. But I know that it's at least when that moon hit, and a lot of people have been having endings, and it's a year 9, and we had talked about this, so if you guys are interested in that episode for 2025 and the energies, I'll put the link below. But today we're going to focus on mission and how to find our mission, right? Because aren't we all just, I think ever since COVID, we're all just exploring new avenues in our life. And a lot of people gave up their corporate world, or things happened, or their jobs ended, and then they found themselves kind of like, well, what's the next step in my life? Or for people that are maybe in their 40s or 50s, or maybe you're just not satisfied in your life anymore and you're looking for something new. How can astrology help you find that? Let's dive deep and just tell us how this all works.
Yes, we're going to talk about today actually the South Node and the North Node, which is Ketu and Rahu, and the tail of the dragon and the head of the dragon. And actually, that is the axis energy, that is the true significance of the yin and the yang in our life. The North Node is the recent life mission in our life, and the South Node is actually the tail of the dragon. That is something that is familiar, something actually what we need to leave behind. We already learned that in our previous life, and we have to move away from the South Node. South Node is Saturnian energy in flavor, so it's heavy, it's very karmic. And North Node is the new mission. North Node is the new gift that you have to approach in this lifetime, and that is the head of the dragon, where you actually heading, what kind of avenue you need to approach in this lifetime, and that is something what you need to learn. But obviously they relate to each others and they build on each others, because without South Node there is no North Node, right? And we also have to understand the nodes are not planets. It's the mathematical point of the moon, and it is colorated and strictly actually associated with the eclipse as well. At this moment, we had a major shift, as I said, and North Node went January in Pisces, and South Node in Virgo for the collective. So we have to let go of criticism and details, and we have to see the big pictures. North Node in Pisces is the big pictures, to become more compassionate, to stand up and advocate for the oppressed, right? The people who are actually being pushed on the edge of the society. And that's what we need to actually accomplish right now during this 18 months. The nodes always going in retrograde motion, not always. There is every single month or every 6 weeks, there is like 2-3 days when the nodes are actually moving straightward. But usually they are moving backward, which is retrograde motion, and always working in axis. They are always in the exactly same degree in the opposite sign, and they are actually, the typical yin and yang. And the North Node actually is Jupiterian flavor. So it's blessing, it's growth, it's abundance, it's prosperity and growing in life, for example. So yes, that's what we're going to talk about. And, the fundamental actually aspect of our life is, we born and we reproduce and we die, everybody. right? But the mission, the North Node point actually is different for each one of us. And by the way, I forgot to say that the North Node takes around 18 years around the zodiac cycle. Every 18, between 18 and 90 years, it's going to go back to the same signs. So it's take a long time to go around the zodiac cycle. Around 18 months for it stays 18 months in each individual signs. All right. And obviously associated with the lunar and the solar eclipses. And the lunar eclipse is letting go of something. Usually it's a negative aspect, and solar eclipse, it's also unexpected. It's fate. It's karmic, it's something but we cannot actually determine or we cannot change. But the North Node is usually very, very positive, and the South Node could be like something to let go and negative.
Yeah, I had read once that I think it was the North Node is it the karma or the gift or the lesson? So the South Node was the gift, and then I think it's the North Node was the karma or the lesson.
No, South Node and the karma and gift both is the South Node, the gift that you are bringing with yourself. The North Node is typical mission, something that you have to approach in this lifetime. You were signing up for that new mission to create something, and not everybody going to have obviously like an amazing, huge, grandiose mission in this lifetime. But if you approach your North Node and the mission, because it's Jupiterian in flavor, it is always, if you are capable to fulfill your mission, you will be happy. If you are capable to approach at least the avenue. That's why astrology is very important, because if you understand what is your mission in this lifetime and you're moving toward to it, you can live a happier life and you can leave the South Node behind. Can you have like two missions? Because like I'll just speak of as for the listeners and everybody out there. So I was really passionate about interior design. I did that for the first like 20 years of my life. Anything that had to do with textiles, furniture, everything. And then I had a life change right around COVID that kind of catapulted me into being a clairvoyant psychic publicly. I always did that in the background, for friends and family. And now I want to embrace as my mission being of service to others, doing Portal Místico. So would you say that you could have two types of missions, or you can have multiple mission in this lifetime? So thanks God, the human life is expanded right now because we have technology, we have good medicine, right? We have actually cleaner, right? And so that's why we don't have a lot of plagues and we have a longer life in general. So in general, you can have actually multiple missions. You're born with one, but whenever the North Node is going around, like in an other stage, for example, it could be like training with your original blueprint, with your natal North Node, the transit North Node, there could be something triggering actually, which is going to bring in another mission in life. Yes, you can have. Right, because I do feel that we are in a point in life where we are, we just, you do your corporate and then you have your kids and then, we're getting older, our dreams and vision for the future change. So that's why I wanted to ask you that question about that, because I know that somebody had written to me and they said, can you have multiple missions? And also missions could be something very, small, right? They're, like you said, they don't have to be grandiose. It could just be learning how to be more humble or learning more patience or, what was it that your soul wanted to really learn? And it's usually not about money, fame, or success. It's usually deeper. No, mission, it's not about money. This is actually something which is a sole purpose over here. And that's why it's very important to talk about. For example, and that's why I'm going to answer over here as well. When you're born with a North Node in Cancer, for example, and your mission is, and maybe it's even conjunct with Venus over there. Your mission is to create, for example, home or decorate or making beautiful everything, like become a designer, right? And then the North Node right now went to Pisces. and your mission is going to change. It still could be something like making people's life comfortable, but moving away, for example, from design, or moving away, for example, from real estate. But real estate is actually a job, but North Node also indicates your job, what you're going to take on to in this lifetime. So we are also checking that when we are checking, what kind of job and career a person has to have. But for example, moving away from nurturing others, or maybe having a dog shelter, or helping homeless mothers, for example, and moving forward to create a sanctuary, perhaps a healing property and a healing, if North Node right now it's in Pisces and it's trining with someone who has the North Node originally in Cancer. So it's giving an opportunity to change their mission right now and coming out from there and actually creating a retreat center. So yes, that's definitely possible.
Love that. Okay. Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't know. When did you get your calling? I know we talked about this. Like, did you know right away that this was your mission, or did this astrology pop into your life later on, or was it something that you just knew off the bat in your 20s that you wanted to do?
And I have North Node in Sagittarius and I have South Node in Gemini. So Gemini is writing and I'm a writer, but I already been published in my previous life, most likely. So that's what I had to leave behind. That was most likely to teaching, children in elementary school, or writing newspapers or things like that. In this lifetime, I had to move forward to Sagittarius because the North Node is over there. And, it's very similar, but right now I don't have to teach one-on-one. Actually, I have to move forward to write books, and that's what I'm doing. And I have to be out in public and I have to teach and spread my knowledge because I already have that. And yes, actually, because of South Node is in Gemini, I knew that, and I was writing and teaching from early ages. Definitely, I knew that I could do that. I could be a prophet, or, like I just felt it. But maybe because of my Pisces sun also, and Pisces Jupiter, there is a lot of feeling and a lot of psychic ability on my side. So it was easier for me. But at this moment, I have to move away. For example, one-on-one client at this moment, it's draining. Like I get a lot of, I'm not saying psychic attacks, but it could be also, and it's not intentional. They're just draining my energy, obviously. And I have to move away from that and actually teach the public, be in front of the public, be in front of bigger crowd. So that's my mission over here. But yes, I did feel it. And somebody is lucky to feel it right away, and somebody is not so much because they lost. That's why you need to have an astrologer who can check, the North Node and South Node, and what kind of aspect the nodes has and what is your mission, and they are capable to help you and provide you with multiple examples. And many times when I tell my client, okay, this is what I see over here, and they were like, I have never thought of that. That is an amazing idea. Thank you so much. So somehow they feel that in the soul when they hear it. They just couldn't come up with the idea. And many times North Node, it's very difficult to approach because we are fearing to approach the North Node because it's unknown. It's a path that was not walked on yet. You didn't walk on yet. The South Node, it's very familiar. I was teaching special ed children for a long time and, writing newspapers because it was familiar for me. I didn't want to move forward because it was scary for me to talk in front of a bigger crowd.
Well, let's talk about that because I think that this is like a reoccurring theme in people that are starting to, like you or I or many others that are like launching our businesses, and we're doing the podcast and we're on YouTube. And now you do a lot of stuff with Astrology. I do a lot of stuff with some other, just other people that are in metaphysicals and spiritual modality. But it seems like everybody always has like a fear, either I'm not good enough to do this, or you have the negative thoughts, like, is anybody going to get my message? So there's all that. Yeah, it's just the fear of stepping forward and speaking your truth and being authentic and not being afraid to shine. And so can you, through your astrology readings, with the mission, identify where people are getting stuck, because you can look at the past life and say, hey, in this area of your life, this is where you were either triggered, or maybe you didn't get the lesson and you're coming back to get it again. Are
Yes.
you able to see all that? Like, hey,
Yes.
maybe you just didn't do such a good job in your past life, so now you got to come back and do it all over.
Especially when South Node is affected by Saturn and Saturn is in retrograde, that's karmically many times to coming back and repeating the mission. And actually Trump has that. And so Trump has that kind of mission. He had to come back actually exactly to do the same kind of mission, but a lot of people. So, but then we involve Saturn as well, because Saturn is talking about karma. But in your chart, yes, obviously you have to check multiple planets over here and the aspect between actually the North Node and the South Node and other planets as well, and what is triggering by transit or by progression. But yes, then you can actually identify the issue over there, or why are they. It's actually very, very common for people, for everyone to be stuck on the South Node, because that is familiar, and you heard it many times. Even if the familiar is wrong, or if dragging you down, it's still familiar, and somehow you don't want to change because of the new is unknown, and it is really, really scary for many. But in a chart, definitely you can identify and you can remedy. You can actually offer remedies. How can you actually unblock the blockage and how you are capable to move forward? Many times, for example, parents coming to me and they are like, okay, my child doing basketball, and the child is like very, very short, and like not just physically, but obvious that child is not going to be a player, right? And then I see the chart and I say, okay, here is North Node. Why don't you actually try lacrosse or golf for this kid? Because he could achieve, like significant achievement over there. And then they tried it, and obviously the child right now it's thriving, and there is no pressure, there is no crying, no tantrums. He's happy to go, and because he wasn't forced in something where actually he couldn't achieve. So that's very good, especially for children. For example, for my child, my firstborn, Martin, he wanted to do a musical theater. And when I checked his North Node, and I said, but honey, you have to do speech. And with speech, actually, you are capable to do, like movies later on and political debates, and you can do a lot more with speech, and you have to go that way. And he didn't want to listen to me at first, and he paid for the consequences. And then after that, when he listened, he realized, okay, he got in right away to this very, very amazing high-ranked school, and, like he's very happy over there. So you are capable, for example, to determine, the mission and the blockage, and helping parents, or even helping, sometimes I'm helping 60 years old people, because as I said, the mission can change. Right now, they want to clean up their life because they are the last part, the last third of their life after 60, and then they still want to do something, and then they're coming back and asking, okay, what is a new mission I can take on and where I can help?
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. I know I've had a lot of people, especially if I do readings, and they're like, well, is this my last lifetime? Can you tell if there's somebody's last, not lifetime, because I don't know if you can predict that, but getting closer to maybe not coming back as much, or that's a little bit more challenging?
No, you can, but obviously in this, like between 8 billion people, there is very, very small amount who won't come back, because
Right.
you have to understand the moksha over here. And, that is already Saturn. So I don't want to go into karma and Saturn, because there is a lot what we have to talk about. But as I said, you need to actually get enlightened. So actually you have to get away from sexuality, from physical pleasure, from also you're going to, for example, fast a lot, because food is not going to give you a lot of comfort anymore. You don't find comfort in food, only nourishment, and you're gonna eat to live and not live to eat, right?
Right.
Enlightenment is very important. And when I told my son, and it was a funny thing actually, because I said, the world is crazy, I'm not gonna come back anymore. I don't want to. And he said, Mom, I love you so much. You are the best mother at all. But are you kidding me? You still have a lot of things to work on. And I don't think so. Like you close to, Buddha or Jesus Christ or like there is still a lot of reincarnation.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. I love your kids. I don't know them, but I think they're
Yes,
hilarious.
they are hilarious.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all want to learn. If you looked at my chart, I would definitely want to know what I would need to work on so that I didn't have to repeat and come back and repeat those uncomfortable lessons that many of us have had to repeat over and over and over and over and over again.
So there is a very easy remedy for that. You have to pay forward, no matter what. So in Buddhism, we are working on our human revolution and evolution, human evolution. So it means every single day when you wake up, you make a decision to make the world better, and you are responsible the way you respond to any kind of situation around you. Sometimes it's very hard, obvious, when a tragedy comes up. Obviously, it's not possible because we are emotional beings, right? But in general, that's what you do, pay forward. And then you pay off your karmic debts or pay forward, for your karmic debts. So your next life going to be easier, your next day going to be easier. It's not like you're going to redeem yourself and you're not going to pay for your karma, for example. And I have to tell an example over here. That is Saturn and South Node together, but Saturn most likely is the Lord of Karma. So if you killed someone in your previous life, you will be killed most likely in this lifetime. But if you redeem your karma, try to redeem and pay it forward to help homelesses or stray dogs, or just, being kind and be, like not pollute the nature around you, then you're going to have an easier death. You could still be killed by the person who you reincarnated with, right? But how? For example, it's not necessarily the person gonna go there and stab you or shot you. You're thinking of the person. For example, okay, so there is a situation. You killed someone in your previous life. In this lifetime, you're going to reborn the same way, with the same person, because there is a karma to pay off. That person most likely going to be the reason of your death. But the person not necessarily going to stab you or shot you or, murder you on the way you might have murdered the person in your previous life. If you pay it forward, you might just going to sit down eating and think of the person who made you mad or who cut you through, for example, with cars, and oh my God, that idiot, like, why did they cut me? And the moment you think of the person from anger, you can actually choke on food. The person still created your death, but you have to understand, because you paid it forward, it's not going to be a threat,
like severe,
Yes.
or tragic or dramatic or violent, I guess is the word we're looking for. It doesn't have to be like a violent death.
Yes.
Wow, how fascinating.
Yes. And that's why I tell everyone, guys, just work on yourself. Everything is coming within, no matter what. It's very, very important. It's hard. It's a very hard work. We don't see ourselves. It's very hard to see yourself with God's eyes. Like, okay, that's what it is. That's how you have to grow through pain and the purpose of life, actually, human life, is joy and health. Unfortunately, we do create suffering for ourselves. And in Buddhism, which is very, very important, and I really like that, I'm doing Nichiren in Buddhism, and there is actually a 10 stage in your life. You can go from anger to Buddhahood every single day, right? And for example, you're changing because of emotion, because of the circumstances, but you are capable with chanting and to working on yourself, or meditation, or praying, or whatever you want, to create peace in your life every single day and achieve Buddhahood every single day. And there is no judgment over here. And there is no, and if you are religious, God bless you, I don't say anything about that, but there is, not like the Bible, for example, you can sin until your deathbed. But if you turn to Jesus the last minute, right? your sin is forgiven. And that's why actually I became a Buddhist, because I was like, something wrong with this picture. I want to actually become a decent person every single day. And I want to teach my children to become decent person with integrity, values, and morals. And it's very hard in this world because you don't see that.
Man, I love that. Waking up every day and saying to yourself, how can I be of service for you, for myself and for humanity and for those
Yes.
around me? And then managing the stress and the emotions, and then using the tools, whether it's chanting or, taking a time out or pausing. The Kabbalah, they always say pause before
Yes.
you do anything. So I love that. That was like an aha moment there for me. I mean, I know that to be, but for some reason, the way that you said it really resonated. Like, yeah, wake up every morning and, how can I be of service? How can I be kinder? How can I
Yes.
be more patient? How can I be more loving? How can I not, contaminate the earth or flip somebody off in the car when they cut me off, and try to find compassion? Maybe they're in a hurry. Maybe they're going to the hospital. Finding compassion in the day to day. I think that that's a beautiful reflection. I mean, I meditate, I do my 5 levels, I do a lot of things, but I think with more of a purpose of how can I be of service. So that was beautiful. Thank you.
Every single day, you should do something positive for one person. And, it doesn't have to be big, just like mission doesn't have to be big. But for example, to smile, of someone, or make a compliment. People are not complimented many, many times. We are short with compliments. And I do compliment people. Oh, I love your glasses. Oh, that is a beautiful dress you have on. Thank you so much to dressing up like that. Because it feels good to me also when I get compliments. Or breaking for the old neighbors in the neighborhood. Or I do go to homeless shelters and help out, like every 2 months, things like that. So every single time, and I have packages in my car for homelesses, and like $2, and then essentials, like for example a deodorant or a toothbrush with a little, because that's what they don't get, and water, or a protein bar, and I have it like 5 of that, and I always replace it, and I just giving it out. So help one person, help an old person who is in wheelchair reach, for cereal boxes because they can't. That's it. Or, somebody wants to talk and we are impatient because we always in hurry, no matter what. I'm always running. I don't even know why, but I always have to run. And
We're in a rush. Yeah, I'm like that too
Very
with time. I just have like this obsession with time. I can't be late. I get really nervous. I get panic attacks if I'm late. But yeah, I know that we did an episode where you talked about that when you went to Cuba, which was so beautiful that you took classes. And so, we have to tie, we have to give people, we have to give back. And so does that help with the mission at all? Like, for instance, if let's just say that you're really here to clear karma. I know we're doing mission, but let's say here we're here to clear some karma, but we want to, part of that is your mission. Does that make sense? Like that question?
Yeah. Remedies helps. Yes. You have to pay it forward. And if you pay it forward, you can actually check your Saturnian position in your chart. And does it make any bad aspect? For example, opposition or King Kongs in conjunction or square with malefic planet, and how to actually pay forward your karmic debts. And then you're going to ease up your karma, and your mission going to be easier to approach, because karma can hold you back. Yes, indeed. There is a blockage over there. And if you pay it forward, that's gonna be easier to approach. Because ask people, they're gonna answer actually, like really, honestly, what would you do if money wouldn't be an option? Like that is very, very easy to understand people and what the mission they were born with, and ask people around. And then they're gonna answer, and then you see, okay, where is the blockage over there? Okay, why can't you do that? Obviously, most likely there is money blockage, or there could be like, okay, I just had children and I can't leave them. I need to be a full-time mother or single mother, or there could be different, or health issues, obviously. But if money wouldn't be an option, then they're going to really see people, actually a lot of people has amazing ideas how to help and how to make the world better. So definitely the life mission, the North Node, that is the grow path, and the South Node is the gifts that you already had and what you're leaving behind. And yes, if you're paying forward your karmic debts, definitely you are capable to achieve more, or actually easier. You're not gonna feel stuck. You're not going to feel like you are swimming against the current.
Against the current, yeah.
Yes.
And let's circle back, because you at the beginning you had mentioned that it's great to find out the mission for children from a young start, so you can avoid a lot of confusion, especially as they're going from high school to college. And I've experienced so many children that are so lost. I mean, they're not children anymore, but young adults that are so lost because they think they want to go in a direction, and then they go to the community college and they do 1,000 courses, and then it turns out that that's not what they wanted to do, and then they went to another direction. And if they would have had maybe a reading with your life's purpose and mission, it would save you a lot of time. I don't want to say wasted time, because nothing's wasted, they're all experiences. But would you say that should just be like children going to school, they should get an astrological report to find out their mission ahead of time, and that will save you a lot of unwanted decisions and experiences that maybe you didn't have to go through?
Actually, I always wanted to create a healing village where I would have a school where they would learn astrology and palmistry and face diagnosis, because it is a lot easier to determine ill-minded personality. They wouldn't get in trouble. They could choose their peers, they could choose their mission easier if they know their astrology chart. Absolutely, it would be a lot easier. If a child already have, a mother has, for example, oh, my baby is here. Okay, what do you say, for example, for this baby? Like how is her or his life going to unfold? Can you give me some kind of, but not prediction, but some kind of, like, how do you call that?
Like a guideline,
A guideline. Yes, a guide.
To finding a purpose. Well, I think for many, I think even it doesn't matter, well, how old you really are, but I think knowing your life's mission, at least from an astrological point of view, and there's a lot of great systems, but I love your a way of being so precise, and you really look like you really dive deep into each quadrant of the chart. So for all of you out there, if you're really looking for an amazing astrologer, I really recommend Krisztina. I know that the times that she has done my chart, she goes into a lot of detail and a lot of information and suggestions of how to navigate and transits and things that also can help you, right? Because mission is a life path. I mean, we're on this planet for, your average is what, 70, 80? Well, in my family, we all lived to like the late 90s. So
good for you. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I want to.
I mean, it's good to live when you are healthy.
Yeah, when you're healthy,
because,
yeah.
yes, some people have Saturn in the 8th house, and I did see that with bad aspect. Those people also can live long life, but they have health issues and suffer so much, and they can live.
Yeah, you told me I was going to go peacefully in my sleep in my 90s. So we got very specific, and I have, reached out to Krisztina also for some other questions, but she can. So let's talk about a little bit, because I introduced you, but I kind of want to talk about this because it's just so fascinating. So you do medical astrology.
Yes.
You do the mission astrology. You also do solar return.
Yes. So I do all the techniques because of, obviously, if you learn plans, but I consider myself evolutionary astrology because I do believe mind over matter, and I do believe everybody is owning their power, and you have to make the decision. I am your co-pilot. That's what I tell everyone. I'm not the pilot of your airplane. I'm just a co-pilot. I'm going to remind you if there is a storm out there and you have to merge or go around or whatever, but I'm not going to make a decision for you and for anyone. You will have to own your power. And actually owning your power is one of the most important things in life, because if you own your power, most of the people who owns their power, they're easier to get healed because they're not going to listen to this doctor, that doctor, or this holistic, be going back and forth between decisions. They're incapable to decide, and their life is chaos or fogginess or confused. people who own their power, it's easier for them, to heal or achieve anything. So that's very important. But yes, medical astrology is one of my favorite because I'm a psychiatric nurse and special educational teacher, but also special education, it's very important to help children to find a mission. For example, like what can they do? How can they be happy? Because of, as I said, joy and happiness is the purpose of life. That should be the ultimatum over here. That should be the ultimate goal to become
Peace of mind, I would think. Yeah. But I was thinking that's a great one. I was thinking of that. I was thinking, the other day, I've been I share my personal life with everybody. All my listeners know I've been going through a little bit of ups and downs in the last 6 to 8 months. But what I realized for me was peace of mind.
Yes.
Wow, that has no monetary, it doesn't matter. You can have $1 billion in the bank, but if you don't have peace of mind, oh my goodness, peace of mind, I think is the most important. So if, get your charts so you can get peace of mind as to what is your mission. And then you can go ahead and just like relax into that and then let things start coming into, your life. I remember I was having like a dark night of the soul. My brother had passed away. I was sick of doing, my regular job. And I was like, oh God, give me a sign. Like, what am I going to do with my life? And then all of a sudden I got approached about having my own podcast through a company that is, helping me grow the channel. And so I think sometimes, when you just kind of relax into things and you kind of know what that mission is. Well, I had been told that I was going to do something of service. So that's why I'm bringing this up, that I just felt like, okay. And then, right, the universe starts bringing things into you because it's like, okay, your mission, and then what? Well, you have to put your best foot forward. You got to do the action. But do you feel that so I want to ask this question. So when you have a mission and you're guided to follow the mission, do you feel that once you're on that path, that the universe is supporting you once that you take the initiation onto that path?
Well, obviously, it's also a choice. As I said, the power is in your hands. So the decision is always yours, how actually you're going to act for the circumstances around you. Most of the time, it's flowing better, yes. As I said, because if you already helped and healed the karmic blockage over there, and if you pay it forward, that's the only way you get peace of mind. If you pay it forward, when you can relax. And that is something when a peace of mind representing I'm good wherever I am, I'm good with whatever I have. So that's usually a peace of mind representing I'm healthy and I'm capable, I have knowledge and I'm capable to work and I'm capable to achieve. So that's what it is. And I'm abundant enough and I have enough connection to move forward and everything is flowing very, very easy. But then obviously you worked on your karma and you achieved all your human evolution, as I said, every single day. So you're working on yourself and then you find peace. And when you find peace once, obviously that could be disturbed again. It depends, sometimes the circumstances as well, the political, geopolitical issues, maybe something to do with natural disasters issues. So not everything depends on us. Only 2/3 is our life could be controlled by us. 1/3 is really, really destiny. 1/3 is very karmic, but you still can weaken the karma. Yes.
Okay.
And the moment you find peace of mind, then it's very, very easy actually and flowing energy and you feel it.
I was talking yesterday about that, which is really an interesting point here. It's like the acceptance of being where you are and being okay with where you are in your life. That's what gives you empowerment. Acceptance of where you are. And a lot of people are always looking outside. And sometimes we forget to go within. Say, hey, I have everything I need in the moment. Everything is perfect in the present moment. So I'm going to be present and have a, peace of mind. But yeah, I mean, we do live chaotic lives, our phone, the traffic, kids, the house, our jobs, relationships, making dinner. I mean, we're so bombarded. My goodness. Like when was the last time we all just stopped and chilled for a little bit?
It's very hard and it's very hard and we are competing and we always rushing, we always need to and it's okay. It's okay to to achieve something and have a different goal. It's, that's what's gonna make us grow. We always want to have more, and it's all right to have more and to achieve also something different. But, coming from peace or, coming from disturbance, which, like it cannot be fed because you're always angry or jealous. It depends. Why do you want to achieve something? Is it genuine? Is it because of that's what you really want to have and you want to help on others, serve others? Or is it something you want to piss off your neighbors or make your ex jealous? Or, like, why do you want to achieve whatever target you have? That's the question over there. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, well, wrapping it up. So just to do a summary. So we talked about how finding your mission would be great for children. Also, if you're maybe in your 40s or 50s and you want to go in a new direction, this would definitely be a tool that would help you. And then you would save yourself a lot of trouble in the experimental aspect, because you would be guided like, hey, this what would better suit you. And then you have the will of choice to say, hey, I'm going to go in that direction. So that was beautiful. And then also to see where you were. So getting through this analysis through the chart is seeing where you were in the past and what you're bringing into the future, and then how you can remedy and also move forward so that you can fulfill your life's purpose.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add to somebody that is looking to find their mission or has doubts about their mission?
If there is doubts, I don't know how to remedy that because, they have to achieve. I mean, everybody has a mission. Doesn't matter, what our skin colors, what our gender or age or whatever, there is always mission over there. But if somebody is having doubt about that, that person is pretty much lost and it's in fogginess. And, so they need to come out from that situation and they need to seek for peace. The only thing what I want to add, it's really, what is helping me to find peace, it's praying and chanting, and every single day, or meditation. Doesn't matter what kind of technique do you use or what religion do you have, but that is something what helps. And to get out from fogginess and depression, hi Cosmo, that is actually to helping others. So whenever I'm really, really down, and whenever I feel like,
let's see Cosmo. Hey, my goodness, what a sweetie. Hey, everybody, if you're on Portal Místico platform podcast, you got to hop on and look at us on YouTube, Akashic Insight 369, and see Cosmo. He is the cutest dog ever. I used to have a little dog like that. He's a sausage.
That's Dutch Hound. Yeah, he's a Leo, and his Venus also conjunct his sun, so he's very handsome.
Oh, he is very handsome.
Not smart.
You are a handsome boy.
Handsome, but not smart.
Right?
Not smart.
Hey, sweetie. Oh, I love having animals when they grace our screens. I have a cat that sometimes will navigate on my desk and say hello, Chloe. She's 17. She's still with me.
My, that is amazing.
Yeah, she knows. How old?
6, gonna be August 8th.
He's a baby.
Double infinity.
Oh, he's a beautiful. Thank you for sharing him. What a treat. I love dogs.
So that's the only thing what I wanted to say, pay forward. Very, very important. You will see how your life going to change. You will see how is it going to. I always experience something amazing coming in. Even when for example, we had lack of money and, I was like, that person needs it more, and I'm gonna give it to this charity, or I'm gonna help right away. I just saw, like coming back to you. Yes.
Right. I love that. Well, all right, everybody, I'm going to put her information down below, and remember to interact with us on social media. We love having questions and any answers or questions, or just share your story with us. That's what it's about, building a community. And thank you so much, Krisztina. In Lakish Alakim.
Thank you. Bye.